Hello everyone and welcome back to Very Cold Lasagna. I am your filthy casual host, DylanLasagna, and let's just get right into it. This week 3 matchup on Sunday Night Football between the 49ers and the Denver Broncos. And let's just say it absolutely sucked. It absolutely sucked. Especially if you're a 49ers fan. Because after all of you 49ers fans that have begged and pleaded and cried to have Trey Lance, our starting quarterback, that was supposed to be the future, that was supposed to get some experience in this season. You wanted him replaced after 2 bad games where he didn't do well. When he didn't get a chance to do well, you wanted him replaced by the backup, Jimmy Garoppolo. You all begged, got on your knees, did the thing, whatever that may be. You wanted him to get replaced by Jimmy Garoppolo. Well, after that Sunday night game in week 3 against Denver, well, I hope you got your wish. I honestly hope you got your wish after that game, because in that game against Denver, in the spotlight, when the lights were shining bright, well, rather than we seeing Jimmy playing just a tad bit better, a tad bit more aggressive, no, it was just the same old Jimmy Garoppolo. It was just the same old Jimmy garbage fail that we've all come to love, all come to bash for all the right reasons. And we also got a dose of not just West Coast Bears football. It was a complete smoke pack of 49ers football, baby. Yeah, we got to get that good old Jimmy Garoppolo filled 49ers football. All the great defense wasted by over-reliance on the running game, shit quarterback play, and a head coach who thinks he's hot shit with all his great play calling. Yeah, brother. So, all jokes aside, this game was just bad. I mean, not just speaking from the 49ers perspective, but from in general perspective, the Niners not only played bad, but the Broncos also played bad too. Like, despite the great defensive performance from the 49ers, the Broncos offense was really struggling in this game. They couldn't get anything going. Russell Wilson was struggling to find his receivers. He's even throwing low to his receivers. He couldn't go through his reads, often got sacked by the 49ers. It was just like a repeat of last week's performance against the Houston Texans. But as for the 49ers, they got off to a solid start in the game with their opening drive with a pitch pass touchdown to Brandon Ayuk. They go up 7-0. All right, you see something promising. You think that, okay, Jimmy Garoppolo is doing okay. He's doing fine. Made some decent throws. But, yeah, along the way, Jeff Wilson Jr., their starting running back in place of Elijah Mitchell, he also did pretty good going between the tackles against a strong Broncos defense. So, okay, it seems like they have some promise against the Denver Broncos. And then the 49ers defense, like I said, played really well tonight, going after Russell Wilson, creating a lot of pressure on him, and making him make some really odd decisions. And they got to him a couple of times too. Nick Bosa got to him, Kerry Hyder Jr., Kevin Givens, Drake Jackson. And for the Broncos, they had a lot of opportunities to go down the field, get some points, but they didn't. They just couldn't because they were just struggling offensively. They couldn't connect with Jerry Jeudy. They couldn't get with Cortland Sutton. They were dropping passes like flies in the first half. Talanoa Hufanga, our safety, he continued to make his presence felt as well. I think even at one point, I think it's in the first or second quarter, he kind of like perfectly read a run from Javonte Williams before it happens. Like, he was running when before the ball got snapped, and then at that second that ball got snapped, he already came rushing towards Javonte Williams, and then boom, loss of yards. That's commitment right there. And then in the secondary, Charvarius Ward, Emmanuel Mosley, pretty solid performance from them in pass coverage. It could have been a nightmare scenario for the 49ers until it eventually was, but it could have been even worse when Charvarius Ward prevented a touchdown play from happening by Jerry Jeudy because Charvarius Ward deflected a pass. So, yeah, even with all the things that the 49ers did on defense and for all the struggles that the Broncos were having on offense for most of the game, the biggest problem here for me when I initially the feeling was when the Niners were getting so close to the end of the game, why it wasn't worth celebrating. And even then, it's still not worth celebrating. It's even it's why I'm so upset at this loss is because of the Niners offense. It's like they did not do jack shit for this game. They didn't do jack shit to take advantage of a struggling Denver offense. They didn't do anything. They just sat on their hands like nothing was happening. They saw how well their defense was doing, but they did absolutely nothing. I mean, sure, you could say that the Denver defense was doing just as well, getting to Jimmy G, making him make some forced error throws, but it's on Kyle Shanahan to take advantage of the mismatches and how poorly the Denver offense is doing and try to make some opportunities happen. Like, for example, Deebo Samuel was wide open for a potential touchdown in the first quarter. Could have been 14-0, but nope. Jimmy Garbage fail. Didn't see him. He was looking at the left, and I think what was happening was he instead opted for a screen pass, and they had to punt. Yeah, good job on that one. And then Kyle Shanahan did nothing to adjust or even tap into whatever strengths Jimmy Garbage fail had, especially when it came to nut busting time, when Denver was slowly and surely at least trying to crawl back into the game, trying to adjust themselves into the game when the 49ers were just doing nothing and they were getting tired on defense. It was always the same play over and over and over again. Screen pass in the middle. Throw a check down on the left or the right edge. Let's have Deebo Samuel run the ball a million times, only for the Denver defense to always be ready for it and knock him back for a loss of yardage. I thought Kyle Shanahan was supposed to be some play calling genius, but he's calling the same exact plays for much of the game. I don't understand this. And then, of course, we have Jimmy Garbage fail. Yeah, the quarterback that everybody pleaded and cried and begged for him to replace Trey Lance. And now that we have to deal with Jimmy Garbage fail, now that Trey Lance is out for the season, well, again, I hope you got your wish. I hope you liked what you saw out of him. And, I hope that you say, oh, it's just one game. It's just one game. Yeah, he has the next 15 games to figure it out. But I don't know how you can defend him after tonight. I really don't. I mean, sure, you do have a slight advantage of he does have 2-3 more games to try to figure it out. But how do you defend the stupidity of what happened tonight? Missing that wide open pass to Deebo. That could have put them up 14-0 and possibly build on that lead. But then he looked left instead. And then he took a lot of unnecessary sacks. Yeah, that's the Jimmy Garbage fail that we all knew and love. And then he threw a stupid interception that would become the turning point of Denver's game-winning touchdown run. Yeah, letting Russ cook. Like he often did to the 49ers for the last 10 years when he was in the NFC West. And then, of course, the definitive edition of Jimmy Garbage Fail and the definitive edition of 49ers football by Jimmy G pulling a Dan Orlovsky. And what do I mean by that? Dropping back to pass, but he's not aware that he was doing so. He dropped back too much. He stepped back all the way into the end zone, out of the end zone for a safety. Yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo did a Dan Orlovsky. I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. I thought he was supposed to be some magical genius. He's supposed to be some super handsome man. So I don't know. I don't know how you defend this. I don't really know how you defend this man. So thanks to the stupidity of the 49ers offense, the Broncos were able to adjust, make that one run with Russell Wilson, and after a Melvin Gordon touchdown, they were up 11-10. And yeah, they had about over 3 minutes or 2 to make a run. And well, you could say they almost did. Kyle Juszczyk make this insane catch, and they were about around the 49-yard line of the Broncos. But then, yeah, like I mentioned, Jimmy G makes that stupid ass interception. In tight coverage, and that basically nearly kills their chances. And then, although they forced Denver to punt, and then on their final drive, Jeff Wilson fumbles the ball, gets it punched out, and that's the game. Yeah, this was pretty bad. This was a game that was pretty winnable, but the 49ers could not take advantage of it because Kyle Shanahan doesn't know how to vary up his game plan. It was exactly the same plays over and over again. Jimmy Garbage Fail doesn't know how to tap into his own strengths. He doesn't know how to run out of the pocket, and he's too scared to do so. When he sees the pressure coming, he's just like, I don't know what to do. I just stand here and take it. And well, Kyle Shanahan, you want to run Trey Lance into the ground? This is what you get. You're back to the well, and you pay the price for it. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's not like to say Trey Lance would have evaded that pressure right away, but he at least would have ran out of the pocket. He would have ran out of the pocket to make some throws happen. Make some throws happen to Brandon Ayuk or George Kittle or Deebo Samuel. But no, here we are. Here we are again with Kyle Shanahan. Drawing up some plays, some screen passes, some runs for Deebo Samuel. And it's going to be another half season, or maybe even the whole 15 yards of a season to keep that going. So, yeah, Niners lose 11-10 to the Denver Broncos. Next up, they have that Monday night primetime game against the division rival LA Rams, who beat the Arizona Cardinals 20-12. And yeah, they managed to limit Kyler Murray in that game, the Rams. So for the 49ers, for as great as their defense is, if Kyle Shanahan keeps this up, if Jimmy G keeps this up, well, faithful, or should I even call you faithful? The real faithful 49ers fans, for as talented as this defense is, it's going to be a long season of 49ers football, pal.